Fourth-year playmaker Connor Hayward explained to reporters at OTAs that he was preparing to play more fullback this season. How the Pittsburgh Steelers plan to utilize Hayward, though, could change again with the team's latest acquisition. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero reported Monday the Steelers acquired veteran tight end Jonnu Smith, along with cornerback Jalen Ramsey, from the Miami Dolphins. With the acquisition, Hayward will move down the Steelers' tight end depth chart. Hayward could be bumped at fullback as well. What I've been told is the Steelers view Jonnu Smith as a slot WR and a fullback. They will use him in a very hybrid way in Arthur Smith's offense, wrote Steelers insider Mark Kaboly on X. With Smith, it's worth wondering if Hayward will have a Steelers roster spot at all after the preseason. Connor Hayward's role with Steelers in 2025? Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith loves playing a lot of tight ends. The projected depth chart for the Steelers has Hayward as the team's number 4 tight end even after acquiring Smith. So, for Hayward to be a cut candidate, undrafted rookie tight end J.J. Galbraith will probably have to shine during training camp. But the writing appears to be on the wall for Hayward with a team acquiring Smith. Any role Hayward has on offense in 2025 is likely to be small unless the team has significant injuries at tight end. Last season, Hayward played 207 offensive snaps. That was nearly half the snaps he played on offense in 2023 before the Steelers hired Smith as offensive coordinator. Any extra snaps Hayward would have received at fullback in 2025 may go to the team's newest acquisition now. Jonnu Smith posted a career-best 88 catches and 884 receiving yards along with 8 touchdowns last season. It makes the most sense for the Steelers to get Smith on the field as much as possible. Hayward has 41 catches, 358 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns in 51 career games. Last season, he registered 6 grabs for 40 yards with a score. Is Hayward a Steelers cut candidate? With the likelihood of Connor Hayward playing a minimum role on offense, the question should be asked whether the 26-year-old will be worth a roster spot. The answer to that question is going to depend on a lot of things. Again, Galbraith is the first potential factor. The undrafted free agent may not progress enough to push Hayward out of the number 4 tight end role. Hayward also possesses a significant role on special teams. Last season, he played a career-high 303 special team snaps. Hayward's versatility as a depth tight end, another fullback option, and special teams contributor makes him a potentially irreplaceable player on the 53-man roster. What the Steelers plan to do on the roster at running back could also potentially impact Hayward. Behind top 2 running backs Jaylen Warren and Caleb Johnson, the Steelers have Kenneth Gainwell, Trey Sermon, Cordarrelle Patterson, Evan Hull, and Max Hurlman. If the Steelers keep Gainwell or Sermon as the RB3, will the team find another roster spot for Patterson as a special teams returner? If so, Hayward could be on the chopping block. However, that's probably not a likely scenario. Patterson struggled returning kickoffs last season, and he doesn't return punts. If Patterson can't be the team's number 3 running back, he probably won't make the roster. It's too early to project Hayward as a cut candidate for the Steelers. But there's little doubt that Hayward's roster spot in Pittsburgh isn't as secure as it was before the Steelers acquired Smith. Additionally, next spring, Hayward is set to be an unrestricted free agent. Ramsey, 30, has long been considered one of the best corners in the game since entering the NFL in 2016 as the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 6'1", 208-pound 3-time All-Pro also gives the Steelers options across the back end of their defense. Ramsey played 185 snaps in the slot for the Dolphins in 2024, while aligning outside 728 times. He also has the size, speed, ball skills, and tackling ability to perhaps shift to free safety at some point in his career. A 7-time Pro Bowl player, Ramsey has 24 career interceptions to go along with 108 pass breakups in his 9 NFL seasons. His addition gives the Steelers the option of playing Ramsey as their slot cornerback with Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay on the outside. Juan Thornhill and Deshaun Elliott would then be at the safety spots. But Ramsey also has played 137 defensive snaps over the course of his career at free safety as well. In 2024, Ramsey allowed just 44 receptions on 71 targets on throws into his coverage, a completion percentage of 62%. Opposing quarterbacks posted just an 83.2 passer rating when targeting Ramsey in coverage. He's also ineffective when blitzing. Last season, Miami blitzed him 25 times, mostly out of the slot, and he recorded a sack, for quarterback hurries, 3 knockdowns, and also batted down 3 passes. Smith is an interesting addition in that he has a long history of working with Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. In 2 seasons in Tennessee, 2019 and 2020, Smith caught 35 and 41 passes. Those went for a combined 887 yards and 11 touchdowns, with 8 of the touchdowns coming in 2020. In 2023 in Atlanta, Smith caught 50 passes for 582 yards and 3 scores despite the presence of Kyle Pitts, who also caught 53 passes for 667 yards and 3 scores. Last season in Miami, Smith, who turns 30 in August, had his best season, earning Pro Bowl honors by catching 88 passes for 884 yards and 8 touchdowns. A third-round pick of the Titans in 2017 out of Florida International, the Philadelphia native is an athletic move tight end who, at 6'3", 248 pounds, has the ability to be a good blocker, especially in zone blocking schemes where his athleticism is a factor. But he is a matchup issue for opposing defenses. At the NFL Scouting Combine in 2017, he ran a 4.62-second 40-yard dash, while also posting a vertical jump of 38 inches and a standing broad jump of 10 feet, 7 inches, all of which are excellent for a tight end. Combined with a group that already includes Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, and Connor Hayward, Smith gives the Steelers plenty of options at the tight end position. The Steelers utilized a 2 tight end package 25.25% of the time in 2024, which ranked as the 12th most in the NFL. The Raiders utilized that grouping 35.5% of the time to lead the league, while the Chiefs, Lions, Texans, and Ravens rounded out the top 5 in terms of use of 12 personnel. With the addition of Smith, the Steelers figured to use that package at a much higher rate, lessening the need for additional wide receivers since there are just 2 on the field in a 12-personnel package. New Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers also has a long history of using tight ends extensively throughout his 20-year NFL career. The addition of Smith clearly shows the Steelers want to utilize the middle of the field as a target in the passing game. The Pittsburgh Steelers overhauled their offense this offseason, jettisoning both of last year's starting quarterbacks in favor of Aaron Rodgers. Though the Steelers appear to be all in on a Super Bowl run this season, one outlet believes the team will soon start planning for the long-term future. Rodgers has not committed to playing beyond 1 season, and Pro Football Network's Joe DeLeon believes the team will find a new prospect to fill his shoes in next year's NFL Draft. Steelers could stay in the state to find Aaron Rodgers' replacement. DeLeon predicted that the Steelers would land Penn State quarterback Drew ALLAR in the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft, which he called a home run pick and potential long-term replacement for Rodgers. Drew ALLAR is deservedly being projected as an early first-round pick because of his large frame and powerful arm, DeLeon wrote. I'm not as high on ALLAR due to inconsistencies with his touch, timing, and decision-making. If he were to slide, this would be a home run for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who need a gifted player to mold at QB. NFL.com analyst Daniel Jeremiah suggested that ALLAR could grow into a solid NFL starter, comparing him to Joe Flacco. He reminds me of, my first thought was Kerry Collins, who also spent his college career at Penn State before spending 17 seasons in the NFL, Jeremiah wrote. They are big, strong-armed passers with similar athleticism. However, the more I thought about it, the more ALLAR reminded me of Joe Flacco. Jeremiah noted that both ALLAR and Flacco both make drive throws look so effortless, and when given some space, they can collect yards on the ground. Neither guy is ultra-sudden or dynamic, but they find ways to occasionally extend plays and deliver accurate throws on the move, he wrote. They both prefer to read top to bottom, and they're always on the lookout for shots to present themselves. Aaron Rodgers ready for one final season. While Rodgers has yet to make a final determination, he strongly implied during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show that the 2025 season would be his final one in the NFL. I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, Rodgers said, via ESPN. I've enjoyed it, and no better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win. The Steelers made a big investment in Rodgers, allowing both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields to leave in free agency after the pair combined to lead the team to a 10-7 record and a playoff berth in 2024. Rodgers waited several weeks before making his decision official, signing with the Steelers before the start of mandatory minicamp. Rodgers is looking to move on from his rocky tenure with the New York Jets, which started with a season-ending injury on his first drive of the 2023 NFL season and ended with a disappointing 2024 season where the Jets fired both their head coach and general manager during the season.